Hi! Welcome po kayo sa The Parable Cafe every Tuesdays at 3:30 p.m. only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9.
Bahala sa iyo, kaibigan ko.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin mista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, tunong at tulong. Di ba the Blue Eagle, galing hiding at gigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
This is Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Susunod na ang Tatakalikasan sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Katipunan.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
To open our eyes and ears that we may see the face of Christ and hear his voice in our midst. For 28 years, Jesuit Communications has been promoting the Catholic faith and serving the nation through both traditional and new media. Hear us tackle national issues in light of Christian values on Usapang Kapatid, Pasakalye, and Radio Veritas. Watch our uplifting reflections on Kapet Pandasal and The Word Exposed, as well as our acclaimed TV specials. Listen to the inspiring and soothing music of Jesuit Music Ministry's original artists as you read our spiritually enriching books. To learn more about JustCom's mission of evangelization and education, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and our website, justcom.ph. To give a face to the faceless and a voice to the voiceless, that we may recognize Christ in them and hear his story in theirs.
Tara na't simulan ng inyong umaga sa mga magagandang refleksyon tungkol sa ating buhay at pananampalataya. Kasama sina Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, Father J. Boy Gonzales at Father Nono Alfonso ng Kapisanan ni Jesus, Father Cali Llamado ng Manila Cathedral at Binibining Risa Singson Kaupeng ng Light of Jesus Community dito sa Kapit Pandasal sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Nasa Biblia ba na dapat ipagdasal ang Santo Papa? Ito po si Father Cali ng Manila Cathedral. Halina po at magkapit pandasal. Ngayong araw ay kapistahan nina San Pedro at San Pablo. Kaya ang araw na ito ay tinatawag din natin na Pope's Day, sapagkat ang ating Santo Papa ay ang kahalili ni San Pedro sa pangangasiwa sa simbahan. Sa lahat ng mga simbahan ngayon ay ipagdarasal natin si Pope Francis. Pero baka maitanong ninyo, nasa Biblia ba na dapat ipagdasal natin ng Pope? Makikita natin yan sa unang pagbasa ngayon sa misa mula sa gawa ng mga apostol sa Biblia. Sabi doon, nanatiling nakabilanggo si Pedro. Samantala, Siya'y taimtim na ipinananalangin ng simbahan. Dahil alam ng mga Kristiyano na si Pedro ay pinahihirapan ni Herodes, ang buong simbahan ay ipinagdasal siya. Kaya sinagot ng Diyos ang kanilang panalangin at pinalaya ng Diyos si Pedro mula sa piitan. Noon pa man na nasusulat sa Biblia, ang simbahan ay laging ipinagdarasal si Pedro na ang kahalili ngayon ay ang ating Santo Papa. Panginoong Jesus, pakaingatan at basbasan niyo po si Pope Francis, ang aming minamahal na Lolo Kiko. Amen.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Sa Blue Eagle kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog, lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting at gigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan.
Lamig, init, ulan, hangin, kumakalingang kalikasan. Ating alagaan at ingatan. Kumusta na ang ating kalikasan? Pag-usapan natin ang kalagayan ng mundo at kung paano tayo makatutulong sa pagkalinga sa ating tahanan. Kasama sina Father J.M. Manzano ng Kapisanan ni Jesus at si Dr. Abercio V. Rotor. Ito ang Tatakalikasan sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat at welcome po muli sa ating programang Tatakalikasan. Magtaka, magmasid, mag-isip, may utak ang kalikasan, katipunang tahanan, katipunang Tatakalikasan, Radyo Tatak. So sa ating pagpapatuloy po, manalangin muna tayo. Sa ngalan ng Ama at ng Anak at ng Espiritu Santo. Amen. Mula sa sulat ni San Francisco ng Assisi. Purihin ka poon, sa dahil mahal ka ay nagpapatawad. Silang nagbabata ng mga hilahil at pagpapahirap. Pinagpala silang nagpapakasakit ng puso'y payapa. Pagkat sila sa iyo kataas-taasan ay may gantimpala. Purihin ka poon sa kay ate panaw ng lupang katawan. Walang nabubuhay na makatatakas sa kanyang hangganan. Sa palad sila na yumaong dalay kasalanang mortal. Pinagpala naman silang tumalima sa loob mong banal. Di mapapahamak sa ikalawamang bantang kamatayan. Panginoon, nagpapasalamat po muli kami sa iyo sa handog mong bagong pagkakataon na kami ay makapag-usap tungkol sa mga importanteng mga usapin sa kalikasan. Gabayan niyo po kami at ang bawat isa sa aming mga sumusubaybay. Sa ngalan ng Ama at ng Anak at ng Espiritu Santo. Amen. Ako po muli ang inyong lingkod, Father J.M. Manzano ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. At kasama ko po,
Perman si Kaabe o Dr. Abe Rotor. In Ilocano, they call me Manong Abe. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
ayan. So, napaka-espesyal po itong topic, itong palatuntunin natin po ngayon, episode natin ito kasi kaugnay nito sa ipinagdiriwang natin sa buwang ito, ang Self-Care Awareness Month, no, Doc Abe? So, sana diyan sa Ilocos ay ang mga kasamahan natin ay kasama ito sa kanilang mga pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay, yung tamang pangangalaga sa sarili, no? Yan, so yan yung magandang pag-usapan natin ngayon.
At ang kalusugan ay apat na aspeto. Katawan, physical, then isip, mental, then emotional, psychological, damdamin, and fourth is very special, spiritual health.
Ayun.
Natalakay natin with the help of our guests.
Yes, oo. Sige, so ipakilala na natin, Doc Abe, ang ating katangi-tanging panauhin para episode na ito. Walang iba kundi si Miss Eva Galvey ng Emmaus Center, Psycho-Spiritual Formation Center for religious formation, no? Under the Society of Jesus. So, welcome, Miss Eva.
Salamat. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are just so happy to have you, no? So, Doc Abe, let me just continue with my introduction of Miss Eva. So, just recently, she was given a prestigious award, no, at the Ateneo de Manila University. She received the year 2022 Ozanam Award, which is specifically given to distinguished lay people with a distinguished service, no, for the church primarily, no, but for the people in general. So ito yung kanyang expertise, no, psycho-spiritual formation, no, the different kinds of interventions. So specifically doon sa nabanggit mo, Doc Abe, no, yung the fourth, no, actually, it's two of those four, no, aspects of good health, no, psychological and spiritual. No? So ito po, no, sa buwang pinagdiriwang natin ang self-care, no, ang kalusugan na kabilang dito, napaka-importante ay ating psycho-spiritual health. So, inuunahin natin ngayon na pag-usapan itong psycho-spiritual health. No? At susunod din po sa mga susunod na episodes, yung mga other aspects of our health. So, welcome, Miss Eva, again.
Thank you.
Okay? Yeah. So, ngayon ay simulan na natin, no? Simulan na natin yung usaping self-care, no? Ano nga ba itong self-care? Ano bang habang ibig sabihin ng self-care? Lalo-lalo na sa larangan ng psycho-spiritual health. Sa larangan ng psycho-spiritual health. At bakit ngayong buwan na nagdiriwang tayo ng self-care ay self-care awareness ay kailangang pagtuunan ito ng pansin, no? So, Miss Eva, how would you want to introduce, for example, this field of psycho-spiritual health?
Siguro unang-una muna yung term na self-care, no? Yung term na self-care, ibig sabihin nun ay attending to oneself, no? So binibigyan ng pansin din ang sarili, no? Parang ganyan. And medyo bago ito, it's late 20th century parang concept, no? Parang it's na-surface ito in the late 20th century. Although matagal na siguro itong pangangailangan, pero yung naging na-highlight lang itong pag-attention, pagbibigay ng pansin sa sarili, lalo na sa pangangalaga ng sarili. Nito lang mga late 1990s, no? Yung mga articles parang meron pa isa-isa noong 1956, tapos noong 1970s, pero mga late 1980s lang nagsimula yung mga marami at sunod-sunod ng mga articles about self-care, no? And siguro matagal na itong pangangailangan pero walang nagbigay ng pansin tungkol dito until dumating yung mga tinatawag nilang lifestyle diseases, no? Hindi lang yung parang mga diseases galing sa viruses, parang ganyan, pero nagkaroon na ng health concerns na ang pinanggagalingan hindi virus, kung hindi parang lifestyle na nung tao, no? Hindi na maganda ang paano niya sinasagawa ang kanyang buhay. Kaya may tinawag na mga lifestyle diseases, no? Na galing na ito sa hindi magandang paghahanap ng pahinga, wala ng balanse, tapos yung mga pagkain, kung ano-ano na lang kinakain. So parang noon lumutang itong concern about self-care, no? Parang ganyan. Yan muna ang masasabi natin tungkol sa self-care. So, sabi nga nila, matagal na siguro itong kinailangan, pero yung naging serious lang, naging urgent lang yan nung lumabas na yung mga lifestyle diseases, no? Chronic diseases na coming from unhealthy lifestyle, parang ganyan, no? Tapos nagde-develop na rin siya, no? Sabi ng iba, it's already imperatively ethical to take care of oneself, no? Kasi nakikita na rin na yung kulang sa pag-aalaga sa sarili, mainly yung pagbabalanse, ay isa sa mga sanhi ng abuse, no? Ng pang-aabuso ng ibang tao din, no? Dahil sa unhealthy coping, so nadadamay na yung mga ibang tao, nagiging mainitin ng ulo, may verbal abuse na, may sexual abuse na. So nagiging hindi lang siya pangangailangan for healthy living and to address lifestyle diseases, pero nagkakaroon na rin ng connection doon sa mga abuse na nararamdaman na nangyayari sa mga tao. Yun, no?
Okay, so wow, napakaganda yung paglalagay mo sa konteksto, no? Yung usapin sa self-care na ito ay it's a recent phenomenon, pero nandoon na siya noon pa, pero mas tumindi dahil yung mga lifestyle diseases na sinabi mo, Miss Eva, ay mas kumakalat na, kumbaga, no? May mga consequences na pumapasok na sa larangan ng mga ibang tao din, no? Nakaka-apekto sa ibang tao, no? So Doc Abe, no, you would like to
Yes,
just respond initially?
Yes, actually, at my age, being a senior citizen, ang lifestyle ko ay nagbago na from my lifestyle many years ago. So I included in an article on how to take care of yourself when you grow old. And this is not only for the sake of the person, but also for the sake of the family, for the children. Dahil kung hindi mo alagaan ang sarili mo, somebody must have to take care of you. At yung ginagawa ng iba is to go to the home for the aged. But ang Filipino culture natin, hindi ganon. We would like the father, mother, the lolo, lola to be under the same roof. At doon nila pinapakita ng pagmamahal nila, yung love and care ang maaari natin ipagmalaki sa kultura natin ng Pilipinas. That's why in an article I wrote, which our listeners can access, i-search lang ho ninyo Tatakalikasan lesson on grooming, on obesity, and old age maintenance. So, dalawang articles na yan, i-print nyo para ito yung supplemental references sa tinatalakay natin ngayon. Ngayon, ang napansin ko, sa buong daigdig, nagbabago ang bodyscape. Hindi yung landscape, pero yung bodyscape ng tao. Maraming tumataba at lumalampas sila doon sa overweight to the point that they become obese. And they are not enjoying life. In fact, they are merely witnessing what is happening. They are not part of the drama of every day. And ang mahirap dito, they have shorter lifespan. Sayang yung potential nila to live longer and be more of service to people. Meron akong mga nilista dito, litany of obesity and sedentary living, obesity and affluence. Ito, pahapyaw lang ito to point out that obesity is not an accident. It is something that you can avoid. It is something that you can prevent. And it is something na yung binanggit ni Ma'am Eva, there is an ethico-moral aspect of it. Kasi pag pinabayaan mo ang sarili mo to be destroyed ultimately by such phenomenon as obesity, then you are bothered. Bakit ginawa ko ito? And then bakit hindi ko gagawin ang dapat? So, ayan lang ang masasabi ko for the meantime dito sa ating tinatalakay. But in general, there is a general impression of people around you. And we put that under one term. How's your grooming? How's your grooming? And there are many people who cannot present themselves to other people and to the public. Not maganda ang dating. Something that is, yung dating niya is acceptable with dignity, with respect, and with yung paggalang. That is the basic impression of people. You're grooming. Kaya meron akong mga questions, very simple questions, true or false. Some of them tatalakayin natin later. Meantime, Ma'am Eva, we are very happy that you are bringing out an aspect na walang pinipili ito. Whether you are a teenager, you are in your youthful stage, or you are a senior citizen, we are all victims of this tender trap, the so-called psycho-emotional spiritual crisis na marami humaharap kasalukuyan sa buong daigdig.
Oo. Sige, so salamat Doc Abe. No? Gusto ko lang idagdag din yung kung bakit inilunsad itong World Health Organization Self-Care Awareness Month, no? Kasi kaugnay nito dito sa sinabi ni Miss Eva na maraming mga nagre-resurface na mga lifestyle diseases at sa sobrang dami na nito ay mahirap nang matugunan ng ating existing healthcare system. Kaya kailangan nang i-empower ang bawat isa sa atin, no, in terms of managing, no, on the personal level. Kasi sobrang dami natin. No? There's a total of 4.3 billion people, sabi ng World Health Organization, na walang adequate access to healthcare facilities. No, kaya
Yes.
ito nagkakaroon ng awareness month para matulungan natin ang ating mga kababayan, ang ating mga kasamahan, no? So doon sa sinambanggit ni Miss Eva, no, yung lifestyle diseases that cause sleeping disorder, no, mental disorder, eating disorder, at iba pa. No, at ito ay magkakaugnay. So Miss Eva, yung isang katanungan ay yun, so marami ng mga parang mga diseases that we now have that were not present before. Can we say that?
Kasi related, when you look at diseases, they're parang result of excessiveness. In other words, nawawalan yung moderation, no? And usually, we resort to excessiveness when we are stressed. Okay? So, may stress ako. So, yung stress ko na yun, pampawala ng stress ko, siguro mag-overeat ako. O dahil sa stress, di na ako makatulog. Parang ganyan, no? Yung parang, kaya ang isa ring tanong ngayon for some people, self-care is a luxury. But for other people, it is already a priority or a prerogative or parang no? Kasi nasa katatayuan mo rin sa buhay Kung minsan ayaw mo ng stress sa trabaho, pero wala kang magagawa yung klase ng trabaho mo, yung hinihingi ng trabaho mo, create stress which leads you to unhealthy ways of coping, no? So parang hindi rin lang to a personal decision that you make, pero may social impact din yan, no? Parang the employers also need to be aware of how they stress the employees, because that will lead to unhealthy coping, which we said, halimbawa, pampaalis ng pagod, mag-iinom-inom, hindi ba?
Yes.
So that will become your habitual way of pangpaalis ng pagod. Okay? O kaya pagpaalis ng pagod, kain ng kain. Okay? So again, may epekto sa So parang kabit-kabit yun Parang ganyan yung parang self-care, while it seems to focus on parang making it the responsibility of the person. And I guess that is true, your responsibility. For some, they have the choice. For some, they have a choice to be able to engage in self-care. But others, because of poverty or other situations, self-care is a luxury. Hindi ba? Parang ganyan, no? So, parang wala akong solusyon dyan. Hindi ko alam kung anong solusyon dyan. Pero kailangan may awareness, no? May awareness, no?
Yeah.
Kasi meron din naman talagang self-neglect, nagsi-self-neglect, no? Or alam na parang nakikita na hindi na healthy itong coping ko, pero hindi na maiwanan or ayaw nang mag-explore ng iba, no? So, may mga ibang actions that actually are the responsibility of the person, but there are some actions that are parang hindi natutulungan ng social environment, ng work environment, na maiwasan yun. Kasi it's a response to stress, and it's not enough to just cope. We have to cope healthily. Parang ganon, So yun. That is one thing also that we need to be more aware of, no?
At yung responding to the unavoidable stress, no? Palaging may stress, no?
May stress naman talaga lagi.
May stress palagi sa ating pamumuhay. Now it's just a matter of how we are managing it well, how we are coping, but not only coping, as you have said, Miss Eva, healthily coping with all of this stress. At ito ay mas salimuot, no? It's complicated kasi we need to look at it like an ecology, no? Everything is interconnected sa trabaho natin, yung pakikitungo natin sa ating mga empleyado or kung ikaw ang employer at kung ikaw naman ang empleyado, pakikitungo mo sa iyong boss or sa iyong mga amo, no? And then when you go to your home, to your family, no? Now, are they also affected in a way? No? Sinasaktan mo ba, no, yung mga kasamahan mo either verbally or physically, no? So all of this, kaya nga talagang it's really a need itong self-care, no? At lalong nagiging mas pangangailangan pa in the coming years, no, in the coming years. At ito yun, no, yung nabanggit mo, Miss Eva, no, it's a luxury still at this moment kasi merong bayad, di ba? Merong bayad kapag magpapakonsulta tayo sa mga professionals, no? So in that level, no, it's a luxury.
Oo. Or halimbawa yung may panahon ka para halimbawa traveling can be helpful to you, or reading or engaging in some hobbies. So sometimes you will do you have time for that? Because bukod sa trabaho, may pamilya, ganyan. Tapos ikalawa, kung minsan gagastos ka para to engage in what is nourishing for you. But I'm sure you will be able to find free, no? There are things that are free. Pero kailangan ding i-balance rin, ano? Kasi pwedeng maging focus mo naman is self-care. Na parang, ayokong gawin yan, kailangan ko ng self-care. I mean, some others, you might become naman too self-care focused, no? Na your efficiency is also going to be affected kasi kailangan ko ng isang oras na rest, parang ganyan, ano? So we have to be careful also that self-care may also become parang an excuse, no? For not being able to carry out whatever is really the responsibility of the person, no? Parang ganyan.
An entitlement, kumbaga.
An entitlement na, no? Parang ganyan, no? So talagang kailangan very discerning tayo, no? Parang nararamdaman ko ba kung kailangan ko ng mas, kumbaga tinitimpla mo, kailangan ko na ng self-care, or sobra namang self-care na ako, kailangan ko namang to contribute more to the work, to what needs to be done, no? Parang ganyan, no? Yeah. Kailangan din yung may ganong situation, no? In fact, sabi ko nga, bago lang talaga itong self-care na to kasi yung isang paring Jesuita, no, halimbawa si Father Benny Calputura, no, talagang basta isang beses sa isang conversation namin, parang kasi nagkakasakit-sakit na siya no? Sabi namin, uy, ano ka naman, parang pay attention to yourself, no? Pero parang meron siyang sinabi na, para saan ba yung buhay ko? Parang gano'n, ano? So parang sabi ko, oo nga, no, kailangan din nating tignan kung sa iba kasi ang thinking ng iba, yung buhay ko is para to be spent. May ganung, my life is to be spent. And when I allow myself to spend my life, really give my life, yun, pwede akong mapagod, pwede akong magkaroon ng unhealthy coping mechanisms that make me unhealthy, no? Pwede, that's one extreme.
That's one extreme, yeah.
Oo. The other extreme naman is, yun, so what is my life for? To ask myself, what is life for? And ano pa yung hinihingi sa akin ng Diyos, no? Sa buhay na binigay niya sa akin. Parang ganyan, no? Kasi pwede namang we spend so much time protecting that life, no? na parang, that's other extreme naman, no? Na parang, God wants me to live long, or God, yes. Other extreme naman yun, no? Parang gano'n.
So kumbaga ay balance lang, no? Na mapagmuni-munihan kung ano yung, kumbaga, saan tinatawag ng Panginoon, no? So there is
hinihingi ng Panginoon, oo.
Hinihingi ng Panginoon. At ang hinihingi naman ng Panginoon, 'di ba, Eva, is almost a bit of all of these things, 'di ba? And there is just a particular balance and your particular mission, no? Kasi merong kung sa mission mo ay very very stressful talaga, no? So in a way you can be forgiven, no? To have longer self-care interventions, no?
Yes, Father JM,
Yes, Doc Abe.
nung kumukuha ko ng economics noong the 60s, tatlo lang ang sinasabi ni yung authors, Samuelson, food, clothing, shelter. Ngayon, hindi na. Food, clothing, shelter, energy, communication, and travel. Meron pang iba. So, nag-expand ang lifestyle natin. Ang sakop nito is beyond what you need. It is always towards what you want. At ang mahirap, walang katapusan, walang hangganan. Ang gusto mo, the moment na pumasok ka na sa world of affluence. Now, I have noticed dito sa, even in my place, Ma'am Eva, nandito ako sa 400 kilometers north from your place. I'm near Bigan. May mga binisita akong mga bahay. Magagandang bahay. Malalaki, konkreto. Pero napansin ko, meron silang bahay kubo sa backyard. May nakita ko mga buildings, 3-4 stories, may bahay kubo sa taas. At kung walang bahay kubo, there is a simulated greenery when you go there as if you are under the shade of trees. You are among plants. You are breathing more oxygen than when you would be in the traffic. Now, what I'm saying is that while we are trying to maintain proper self-care, we must also look into the setting that we have assigned our lives, especially so when we move away from the rural area to the metropolis like Manila, then you change your lifestyle and you cannot eat anymore with bare hands. Gusto mong kakain ng less of the so-called culinary art, masyadong very complicated food preparation and presentation. And yet, many people are happier with simple food, with the same ingredients, with the same basic commodity. Many people would like to lie down in a cottage, bahay kubo style, and have their siesta, or they would like to move away from their bedroom, na air condition, they would rather stay there dun sa bahay kubo nila. Now, however, on the other hand, we cannot avoid stress. We cannot avoid the realities of life today. There's one thing. Once we have discovered, technology-wise, economics-wise, we have discovered something different, ang hirap bumalik. Ang hirap mong maiisip na makabalik ka to the so-called simple living. Nasabi natin madali lang, what you need, what you want, you can differentiate the two. But actually, when you are there, mas nakikita mo, mas attractive yung what you want beyond what you need. So, what I'm saying is that happiness goes with proper self-care. I think it is a sign and an indicator that if you are happy, you must be enjoying a life that na gustong-gusto mo, because it's only you who can make your life, no one else. You can have models, you can have people who can help you, pero ikaw din, you are the master of your and captain of your fate and your future. So, iyan ang masasabi ko dito. Ibig sabihin, there is still an innate na tutulog, immanent nandun pa rin yung desire ng tao to go back to simple living with less stress. However, Hans Selye, the father of the longevity theory, sabi niya, remove stress and you will live long. But you know, binago niya yung konsepto niya. In the later part of your life, he said, embrace stress, constructive stress, because it is a stress that will challenge you. Will challenge you for tomorrow. It will challenge you to reach for your dream, to reach for your goal, to be more meaningful to other people and to yourself. So, si Hansel yung ngayon, pag nabasa ninyo yung kanyang mga recommendations, different na yung second part. Embrace constructive stress. Yung una, hindi avoid stress and live long. I believe that we need a certain amount of stress to keep us going, to give a direction in life, and to be happy while you are going through.
Wow, naalala ko lang doon sa sinabi mo, Doc Abe, no, one time, Father Roger Shampo of the Society of Jesus gave us an input about stress, and he told us that actually it is more deadly when there is no more stress. Kasi there's no more drive.
Challenge.
Yeah, challenge. There's no more drive or challenge, you know. So it's part of the ecology of a psycho-spiritual health, no, to face all of these stresses in life, no, mga stressors, no. Just that dumadami na yung mga stressors, no, Miss Eva, yung pagkakaroon lang ay yung mawalan ka lang ng wifi, it becomes a great stress already among the youth. Tapos, so,
I think yung tama rin na we're not looking for a life that has no stress, because stress produces energy. No? Diba? Stress produces energy. Kaya lang, there are what you call stress. I mean, to live is to live with stress. To be alive is to live with stress. But what we need to watch out for are additional stresses. Parang the added stresses that can come either from unhealthy practices in the community or unhealthy attitudes.
Yeah.
No? Halimbawa, perfectionist ako. No? So, meron na akong stress coming from my goal, which has to be there somehow. There must be some goal. Every day we wake up with what we want to be able to do with our day. So may goal na tayo. Pero kung pwede pa akong ma-stress na, ba't hindi nangyayari yung gusto kong mangyari? Or why is the traffic delaying me and therefore I cannot do this? So yung attitude natin to stress adds stress. Ganyan, ano? Pwedeng yung work environment natin already gives us more than we are really capable of doing. Tapos nandun pa yung ating attitude of I want to make sure that I accomplish everything today or I produce the effect that I want to, yun pa ang mga additional stresses. Parang ganyan, no? Parang lagi kong sinasabi pag mga miserable yung mga tao, okay, what are the things that make you miserable? But what are also the things you do that make yourself feel miserable?
Yes.
Parang gano'n, ano? So, So yun, no? And then yun yung kaya pag nagkaroon ng unhealthy pag may unhealthy attitude, may unhealthy environment, then yung necessity talaga ng self-care, no? Is kailangan talagang nandun na rin yun. Becomes it ought to be a practice. Parang kasama na ng to live is not just to live with stress, but to also pay attention to the self. Pay attention.
Yeah. Siguro, we come to this point, no, yung mga indicators, no, na nasimulan na rin nabanggitin ni Doc Abe, no, mga indicators of mental health or psycho-spiritual health, no, which is happiness, no? Can we say that, no? Happiness.
Parang happiness, ako bang sasagot?
Yes, Miss Eva.
I always say, happiness cannot be made a goal. It is a byproduct. Example, if I'm doing what I like to do, then I'm happy. For another person, it is maybe being able to give the love they want to give. Or they're able to receive what they want to receive. So parang the self-care, when you care for yourself, then you also become happy. Parang hindi, I want to become happy, therefore I will do self-care. No? But when I respond to what I need to do for myself, so I will have well-being, health, I will flourish, then happiness follows. Parang ganyan. So parang it's more of parang being aware of when I am off balance, no, when I'm off balance, and then doing something to return the balance, then I will feel good, I will feel happy. No? Parang ganon. That's how I would think. So mindfulness, awareness, yun ang mga necessarily skills of persons na in touch ako sa katawan ko, in touch ako sa emotions ko, ramdam ko kapag pagod na ako. Kasi kung minsan, pagod na tayo, hindi pa natin nararamdaman yung pagod natin eh. Nandun pa tayo sa kaya ko to, pero yung katawan nagsasabi, ayaw na, no? So parang greater awareness, mindfulness, paying attention talaga.
So these are the mga indicators, no, that we have a good health, no, in terms of gaining control, no, moving away from excessives, no, and stay and stick to the essentials, and to be simple, to live simply. So parang may mga ganyan na ano, no, so it's not really making happiness as a goal, but it's a byproduct, no, just like what you have said, Eva. And I think that's also from Doc Abe, your favorite psychologist, Viktor Frankl.
Yes, the author of logotherapy, therapy with a meaning. So when he was in a concentration camp, Viktor Frankl found out that those who were surviving inside the camp are those who were thinking of their loved ones outside of the camp. Someday they will rejoin them, they will see their children, yung gusto nilang matapos yung trabaho nila, yung pag-aaral nila, saying, once I pass through this ordeal, then I can go back to that life. So they were living outside of their camp. Samantala, those who were assigned, na hanggang doon na lang sila, they died. They died early. But many of those who survived are those living beyond. And that's how Viktor Frankl came up with logotherapy, which is a relatively new field of psychology. But going back to happiness, ito yung hindi nawawala. It's always a continuous spring na hindi natin alam kung saan galing. And every time you divide happiness, it will multiply. It doesn't follow any mathematical law. So every time you are happy and you share it with people, they become happy, and the happier you are. And then every day you make people happy and the world becomes happy. Sometimes, sabi ko kay Cecil, my wife here, pag meron siyang napasaya for the day, talaga pinupuri ko. Sabi ko sa kanya, you made again somebody happy. And you can see the smile coming from her face. And if we do that every day of our lives, and people are doing that, happiness becomes now an avenue towards peace. It is a way of attaining harmony in this troubled world. So, there was one time, meron akong apo, ang topic niya is happiness. And he was supposed to address his class. I gave that example. Every time you divide happiness, unlike pizza pie, every time you divide pizza pie, nauubos yan. Pero happiness, hindi. Divide it, and the more you divide, the more happiness will multiply. Now, this is something that is very important ingredient to self-care, yung lifestyle, and that is self-discipline. Self-discipline. Ang napansin ko, yung mga tao na maganda yung religious foundation nila, ay mas matibay sila na humarap sa buhay. And I can see that while they may not be externally showing how happy they are, every time you talk with them, maramdaman mo that there is a internal happiness coming from their being. And I say this because a religious foundation is very important in the life of every individual. And Father Lana, former rector of UST, used a certain word because may nagsabi, always use daw your conscience to weigh whether it is good or bad. But Father Lana used an adjective, formative conscience. So ibig sabihin, our conscience grows with us. It grows with goodness, it grows with love. And when you have reached that point, your conscience will see more what is really true, what is really goodness. We just cannot base on the basic foundation of conscience. You have to improve, you have to build up like money in a bank, like something that will become big and big and big to the point that you will be surprised. You are fighting for a cause na pala, hindi na for a reason. You are fighting for a cause. And that means you are fighting for something that gives meaning to your life. So from health care to self-care, we focus now to the bigger aspect of living, and that is, what are you fighting for? It is a cause.
So we are now at the tail end of our episode, no? At yung ating usapin ay it's going more and more towards this direction na yung self-care to self-meaning, self-purpose, self-direction, no? And these are all deeply spiritual, no? Kaya yon sinabi ni Doc Abe na it's a fountain source, yung the spiritual foundation of every person, no? Napakalaking aspeto nito, yung pangangalaga sa ating sarili, no? Yung kabuuan ng ating pagkatao, no? So, being able to see some higher meaning, no, doon sa kasalukuyan natin ng mga pinagdadaanan, stressful man yan o hindi, no? pero are we able to see something beyond, no? So, yun din yung sinasabi din ni Miss Eva, no, kanina. So, ano yung kuwan mo doon, Miss Eva?
Parang in the end, no, kasi nga nung sinasabi ko yung iba-iba yung pananaw natin sa self-care, yung iba parang that is an entitlement, that could become an entitlement. Others will say our life is here to be spent, no? For others. Babalik yun dun sa how do I understand the purpose of my life? How do I understand to be what my life is for? No? Yun yung magiging konteksto nung how much self-care or how much will I give of my life. Yung pag-discern ng kind of self-care, how much, how little, or parang mahirap pero mahalaga yung self-care, no doubt about that. Pero yung exactly what does that mean for me, it will be tied to my understanding of the purpose of my life. The purpose and meaning of my life. Why was I put here? What does God want for me? What does God want of me? Parang ano ba talaga yung how am I being asked or called to spend my life? Where to give it? How to use it? Parang yun yung in the end yung how my perspective about what my life is for or for who my life is for. Yan ang konteksto ng self-care. Hindi lang basta kasi kailangan, nakakasakit ka na. Yun, kasi parang kung minsan talaga naman magkakasakit ka, lalo kung misyonaryo ka. Kasama yun sa trabaho mo, pagiging misyonaryo mo, part of your response to the call to be a missionary, parang mahihirapan talaga yung katawan mo, no? Ganyan, no? Kasama yun. So ano ngayon yung tawag dito? Parang, paano ito? Yet gusto mo namang mas mabuhay pa para mas makapagsilbi ka. Di ba? So parang, how do you discern that? How do you discern that at this point?
At lalong-lalo na, no? Oo. At, sorry, Eva.
What is God asking of me now? Sometimes what God is asking of me now is to stretch myself a bit more. Sometimes what God is asking for me now is tama na. Pahinga ka muna dyan. Sideline ka na muna.
Naku, tinamaan ako dyan sa sinabi mo, Miss Eva. Kasi just recently, I had COVID, no? I thought I will never have COVID, but for the first time, no? And sabi ko nga, no, I've been abusing myself to a certain extent that only COVID could stop me, no? So sabi ko parang kilala talaga ako ng Diyos kasi parang binigay niya yata ito kasi He knows that this is the only thing that could stop me, no? To take some rest also. So yon, yung sinabi mo doon, Miss Eva, no? Yung the mental disposition, the attitude, no? Kaya kapag meron kang messianic complex, which is a kind of misguided attitude towards life, no? Hindi ka talaga tatagal sa misyon, no? So for me, no, I need to take good care of myself because I love the ministry that I'm doing and I would like to give more of myself, but at the same time not pushing myself too much. And in the long run, no, that makes me happier. No.
Moderation.
Yes, yeah.
There's one thing that I would like to share. Whenever we pray before meals, give us this day. Actually, that is a prayer not for self, but it's selflessness. Selflessness. And when you think how sacred the food is in Ilocano, natin Santa Gracia. Food is Holy Grace. And when you pray that, these are the things that you come to your mind. Huwag ka naman kakain na sobra. Ikalawa, huwag ka naman mag-waste, itatapon mo. And then, third is, when you save something, indirectly, you are sharing the people because imbes na busin mo lahat. Then, what you cannot consume, can be shared to people, especially the very poor ones. So when you say give us, the word us, kasama na yung walang nakakain ng items. So what I'm saying, self-care is selflessness. Selflessness is more than the word altruism. Kasi ang hirap maintindihan ng altruistic ka eh. And then, it is beyond the act of a Samaritan. Kasi ang Samaritan, nakataon lang na meron siyang nakita along the road. Pero tayo, antimano, nandiyan na yung mind natin na makakatulong tayo, makakigay tayo. And that is what is meant by the eternal spring coming from you, from your being. Self-care is also sharing with others. It must start from within. It's like the nucleus of a cell. It's like the ganglion of a nerve. The nerve cannot function without the ganglion. The cell cannot be viable without the nucleus. So self-care is akin or compared to a healthy self.
Yeah.
It's in that heart. The eternal spring must come from your heart. And I remember the little prince at the end. The pilot was able to find not only his way out of the Sahara Desert, he was able to find out who he is, a very much changed man, can now control himself as well as his relationship with other people.
Yeah. Oh, yung one of the gospel readings these days, no? It's about the golden rule, no? And ito galing ito sa ating Panginoong Jesus, no? Do unto others what you want others to do unto you, no? And that is a very good reminder for self-care, I think, no? Balancing na let's not feel guilty if we want to give something for ourselves as well, no? O yung sinabi ni Doc Abe, no, selflessness, but not to the point of self-deprivation, not to the point of self-deprivation of abusing ourselves. Kasi in my ministry of accompanying people, no, at some point in their lives, kahit na yung babalik at babalikan ka talaga, sisingilin talaga sa iyo yung diniprive mo yung sarili mo at a certain age. Babalik. No, that's what I noticed. And later in life, no, we start giving that to ourselves as well. No? Kasi nga, we cannot give what we do not have, no, in the first place. Okay, sige. Miss Eva, any last words, no?
Siguro one last line.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other extreme way of looking at self-care is it is selfish.
Yeah.
Actually, the end of self-care is in order that you will be able to serve more or give more, no? Parang ganyan. So, that's the other extreme naman, another extreme about self-care. And I'm glad that that was pointed out that in the end, self-care is just a means so that we will be able to give more to others. Yun lang.
Yeah, no. So it's a good way of looking at selflessness, no? It's towards that end. Okay, so before we end, no, so again, we thank very much Miss Eva Galvey, now from the Emmaus Center, the Jesuit Ministry for Formation and Integration. No, so let's pray for them. By the way, no, so she mentioned a while ago the late Father Benny Calputura, no. So they were together, no, Miss Eva and the late Father Benny Calputura, and also the late Teresa Nietes, no. So all three of them co-founded now what we have, the Emmaus Center, psycho-spiritual integration for formation and accompaniment.
Yes.
Okay. So wow, we are just so fortunate to have Miss Eva, and she was able to shed so much light on this very, very important topic. So again, we thank our listeners. Thank you so much for always keeping in touch with us through our radio program. Maraming salamat kay Teo at saka kay
Okay,
Justin.
Justin, yes. And to Marlo and Cecil for helping me here. And to all our mahal na mahal natin na listeners. Remember, klase ito. So you have to read our reference materials, Tatakalikasan and there, and you will see a number of articles for your guide.
Okay, so we end. Maraming salamat muli. Magtaka, magmasid, mag-isip. May utak ang kalikasan. Katipunang tahanan, katipunang tatak, kalikasan. Radyo, tatak.
Lamig, init, ulan, hangin, kumakalingang kalikasan. Ating alagaan at ingatan. Kumusta na ang ating kalikasan? Pag-usapan natin ang kalagayan ng mundo at kung paano tayo makatutulong sa pagkalinga sa ating tahanan. Kasama sina Father J.M. Manzano ng Kapisanan ni Jesus at si Dr. Abel Rotor. Ito ang Tatakalikasan sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.